Our guest is here. Now, I called her Aesha.
Well, at least you didn't
She's the
misspell.
girl that I never had. But there she is. This is, how do you pronounce it correctly?
Aesha, like geisha without the G.
Aesha Waks is here.
Wax, like candle wax.
Wax. I got it all wrong.
Hold
I
on.
had it
Everyone
right. I
does.
practiced and I got it wrong. I apologize.
Hold on. What's your
really-
middle name so he could butcher that too?
It's actually Hasham, but people usually just say hash.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's a nice Southern Texas name.
Right.
sure.
What's the
No.
origins of that name? Is that a family name?
So my heritage is Israeli, Ukrainian, Polish, and German. So it's a very European name, and I'm the first generation
Very
American.
popular in the current news cycle, too.
I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, I'm loved. People
Yeah.
It's like
like
I don't know
me,
where my
yes.
allegiances lie right now. It's what's
She
going
just
on.
walked outside and people are just throwing stuff and booing at her. And she's like, what? I didn't do anything. It's what you represent.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Well, since I got your name incorrect, we might as well just throw all the information out there at first to sort of correct and make it good on that. There's her Instagram information. We're going to be talking to her about her new book, Swipe Again, which is available now at Barnes and Noble. I believe I have the image here somewhere. Let me bring that up. I did. Did you move it? No, you didn't. It's right
I have
here.
enough internet.
There it
problems.
is.
Can't move pictures.
With a very provocative photo on the cover of the book there.
That was taken by Antoine Verglas, very well-respected French photographer. He did a lot for Victoria's Secret and did a lot of well-known people in the industry. And I felt blessed that he took this and then he let me use it for my cover. Shout out to Antoine.
Now, have you found with a photo like that it's been ripped off and launched for fake OnlyFans accounts, Instagram accounts that are trying to solicit people? Because that seems to be what happens to every girl that has anything remotely provocative online. Their photos are harvested, collected, and then used to make dummy accounts that you have to tell all your followers, please report this. That is not me. Do not send me donations if I'm asking you for that.
Yeah, that's happened before, but that picture, I just came out with the book just recently, but let's see what happens.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sure after this, there'll be plenty of fake accounts now lifting that photo just because you said that. Tell us about the book here. This is a sequel. This is a sequel book. You had a book called Swipe that came out during the pandemic, and now this is Swipe Again, Electric Boogaloo.
I felt that it was going to be a really hard job, and it may as well be me. Someone that could just kind of go in and perpetrate and take polls, interviews, and kind of go undercover and kind of find out what's really going on out there, because people are just, their mental health is in a decline these days. People are treating each other with such low moral compass. Things have just gotten out of control, and I wanted to do some research as to what was happening out there, and it became a fascination of mine, hence Swipe 2.
Now, how are you doing this research? Are you actually like going on these dating sites, meeting these guys and be like, hey, I know you liked me, sucks to be you, can we get a nice poll going? Or like how does this usually work? How do you go about getting this information?
In the slight chance that I were to meet a true gentleman like you two, I wouldn't have fucked with them. I just would have had a great time, had a drink or something like that. But 9.9 out of 10 people these days are trash. And at that point, I really have no remorse to get my information collected without any names being used, of course.
Do they have to sign waivers when you go on a date? Does that send up some red flags when they're sitting there at a restaurant or at a bar with you? And it's like, hi, nice to meet you. Please sign this because I'm going to use this for my book.
No, because I don't use names and I use variations of stories. And also, like I was saying, if I have an amazing time with a person, I'm not going to use them for information if they're a decent human being. So some people I actually didn't use for information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks better.
Rare.
Some people were saying it's like because the way the vertical is on the camera that they couldn't really see you. Yeah, the way the angle it is, it does look like you're like in a New Edition music video. Like they're Robbie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike are singing about you.
Is it better now, guys?
Yeah. So doing this research, going on these dates for this book here, you've obviously got a lot of information. Did you use your own information to find love?
I am still ringless, except these rings do not signify marriage.
It's got a snake on it. I wouldn't think it did.
What'd you say?
It looks like it has a snake on it. I wouldn't think it was.
This was my mother's ring. She passed away, God rest her soul, but I'm wearing her ring, and the ring on my pinky finger, it's a little heart with an initial A, and I got it when I was 7 years old. I put it on my pinky ring, my power finger, to empower the child within me to always have a young spirit, no matter how old I would be blessed to get in this lifetime.
I want to ask you something about, we were going through all the information to look up your book and look up, because we're going to get into some of your IMDb in a little bit, because people should know that you've done some acting work with some pretty heavy hitters. There are some of these generic celebrity sites that just compile information from other websites, social media, wherever they're getting it and just compiling it on there. There were two different sites that had your age wrong, and I would have been really insulted if I would have told you what these sites said. But
I've seen it.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah,
so they were saying you're 51 or something.
51, 52 years old. Yeah. There's a reason for that, by the way, if you want me to share it with you guys.
Bank fraud?
No, something really silly happened.
Witness protection.
I was engaged. And he happened to be a little bit younger than me. And because his father is a really famous photographer, Patrick McMullen, who you probably have heard of, they merged with Getty Images and Wire Images. Yeah. So I was engaged to Patrick's son, Liam. So I didn't realize if I got a tattoo with his name on it and he got a tattoo with my name on it, I didn't realize someone from the press would pick that up and we'd be in the press like every single day. And they found out that he was a little younger than me, not to the extent that they're making it, but they kind of picked up on that and ran with it. And whatever age they were saying I was back then to create more of a spicy cougar-esque story, they've kind of stuck with that throughout the years and just aged that age. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten in touch with Google. I don't know how to get it off my page.
There's no people there. They don't care. If you lose your account for something, you're kind of fucked. You can't.
I don't know if it's going to hurt my career in any way. Like, I don't know what to do about it.
Well, no, because you see, you've done the model body, you've done like the weight loss and, keeping weight off things. Now you can be like how to look 25 when you're 51. Like this is a whole new book for you. Like don't change anything.
Listen, if you guys call Revlon or L'Oreal for me, you definitely get your 20%. That's all I have to say.
There you go.
With their skincare creams. Yeah, I want to capitalize off of it, obviously, but sure. I don't know how yet.
Yes, change nothing. Just write the next book.
Change your whole identity, your look, your hair, your name. Steal all your shit, put it on those fake accounts, and then swipe people, sucker people into the donations. That's how you make your money. And then you can go on your real account and say, that's not me. Those people are stealing my money, but it's really you doing it on the other side.
Yeah, I got to take notes.
Yeah, swipe some more. Dating in your 50s. Like you really, you can capitalize on.
You have to put yourself out there and take some chances.
I need to take notes on this.
Now, with this book here, you also were talking about the fact that I don't think you're coming off as surprised, but I think other people who would read this wouldn't be surprised either when you're saying, well, people treat each other poorly on the internet. They treat each other poorly on apps. They lie or at least misinform based on an old photo, some details, whatever. And a lot of those apps all seem to be like hookup places where it's like a one and done, or sometimes I guess it's like a casual ring of people that you put together so that you all can go out and do whatever you want to do, but that it never leads to anything tangible, anything serious. And you even went as far as to say it's like, oh yeah, and diseases, which I think is a big part that everyone forgets about this stuff.
Yeah.
All the random hookup stuff.
I had to do a lot of, I was saying I had to do a lot of research on STDs because, call me the bad cop, guys, but all you have to do is talk to a doctor or read medical reports. And there's like certain times that certain STDs incubate. Right. So as much as I know everyone would love to stop into a clinic and get their general first time results, unless you let it incubate for approximately 2 months, some more, you're not going to get an accurate read on your blood. And unfortunately, I'm so sorry to tell the world this, condoms do not protect from genital herpes, and not everyone takes their medicine or will tell you they have it or might just have an outbreak mid-sex. And that's part of the reason I'm right now trying to develop a brand new condom with a bunch of people. We're looking for investments right now, like a full coverage condom. That might be a solution, but
what do you mean by full coverage? What else is it going to cover? Is it just going to be like underpants?
Well, it's kind of like shorts in a way, and you could, if it's small, medium, or large, you could just tie on the side to make them fit you, and then the condom's attached to the shorts, so it's protecting the base, which is where people catch genital herpes, HPV, etc. mostly. I wish it didn't have to come to that. I wish people could just be safe and honest and get tested properly, but at least if I put this condom out there along with my book, maybe some people, especially people in the poly community, could remain safe during their expeditions.
It's like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I'm getting out the lube. I need to lube up my tighty whities or my boxer briefs in order to engage in coitus with somebody I met on the internet.
They're putting on that condom. They may as well put on something that has a little bit more coverage, so you know that you can wake up the next day clean.
Well, we have a prototype idea that we'd like to pass along to you.
I love it.
If you want to take a look at this here, I think this could really benefit what you're talking about.
This is going to be something.
I think it's brilliant.
Oh, that's good.
One of my favorite.
Oh my God!
See, it's latex. It's protection all over the place. I think you put yourself in a great position.
Listen, the chest to chest, arm to arm, leg to leg, none of that stuff is to be worried about. However, people got to wash their hands if they touch themselves, because things could transfer from place to place through the hands. And then also, this is something that most people don't really think about, making out. Kissing someone is one thing, but making out with them, if two people brush their teeth too hard and there's blood transfer, all you need is one person with HIV, and unfortunately the other person might catch it.
You could get the mumps, the kissing disease.
I gotta say, like your book sounds like it could be shelved in like the horror section. The idea of what's out there now just feels just so scary, and it's just crazy that, you know, you would think technology is supposed to like bring people together, but it just really creates like the creepiest petri dish of the weird stuff that goes on in everyone's lives.
Absolutely. And I know I'm going to be pinned as the bad cop here, but I'm just saying, hey, everyone, adults, this is science. It's out there. Stop being ignorant. This is really happening out there. Speaking of petri dishes, I met this guy who shall remain nameless, and he is
his name Rob.
For the sake of argument, sure.
Okay.
And he has a friend with benefits. So
is his name Jordan?
No.
Let's call him Rob Jordan or Jordan Rob.
Stark.
What do you prefer?
I'm just pulling that out of
Rob and his significant other Jordan.
Rob Jordan Stark. Let's just call him for the sake of argument. And he goes, I have a friends with benefits. And he's like, and I want you. And I'm like, is it a monogamous friends with benefits where it's just you and her? Or is she your main and you have sides? He goes, well, she's my main and I have sides. And I said, well, then I can't even consider you because you're untestable. Because if you haven't been celibate or monogamous with someone for at least a couple months that had a test and doesn't cheat on you, you can't be tested. And these new condoms aren't out there. So there is no doing this with him.
Oof.
I could go for a main and some sides. I'm starving. Jordan, we got any sides back there?
We got nothing back there.
Make sure they have no cholesterol too, because that's another thing.
Wait, you can transmit cholesterol through all of this?
No, that's another thing. Because guys, everything in the world that's good, it's bad for you.
It really is.
Don't you know?
Well, you got to die something, right?
What was the sample size for this new book? Like, did you have like a number in mind of like people you wanted to kind of test and
4, 6,
go out there, or just
what are we looking at?
Hundreds.
Hundreds of inches.
Hundreds.
Jesus.
And I'm not just testing my own pool. I'm also going out there and testing other people's pools too and gathering their data and comparing and contrasting.
Now, is this their main pool or their side pools?
It depends on the person. We have, and check this out, this is going to be a little scary too. Polyamorous communities, ethically non-monogamous, which I consider the same as poly. Then we have monogamous without commitment, commitment without monogamy, and then we have traditional, which is committed and monogamous. And believe me, outside of friends with benefits and one-night stands, I named at least 7 variations.
Isn't monogamous a commitment?
No, and I'm so glad you brought this up. No, it's actually completely different.
Because if you're just with the same person over and over, that's the commitment part.
No. Okay, this is what it is. Monogamy is strictly 2 people hooking up with only each other. Commitment is an emotional commitment, because if you're not committed, you could still have an emotional affair, and it's not considered a cheat.
All right. So fucking without feelings.
And I just want to say, no, you could have feelings, but they could be connected feelings, but they don't have to be committed feelings. Like, you could be in love with several people at once, for example.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But this is so interesting to me. A lot of men that I speak to, they're either emotionally committed with one person or no one. Men find it slightly difficult to be emotionally connected to several people at once. I found that super interesting, because I could be in love with 20 people at once, and that's like nothing for me.
That's a lot of dating.
I'm not going to do that, though.
She's like, I could.
Self-love. Yeah. No, it's all about self-love. I could, but I don't. I like having the freedom to know I could, but it doesn't mean I am, or I would. Okay. It's possible. It's a possibility.
This is all very complicated.
I know that I'm going to take so much heat for this stuff as if I'm making all this up. I'm only a reporter. I am a social reporter. I'm literally out there telling people what is actually going on. I know how much hate people are going to throw, the STDs and look at all these relationships. I'm not making any of this up. I'm just telling you what's out there. That's it.
I don't think people care.
About what?
About upfront about the disease aspect. I mean, some do. I can't say all people don't, but I think
you're right.
The little I know about the app stuff, because it just made dating way more complicated. It's supposed to make things a lot easier, but it seems so complicated.
Yeah.
That it takes away. I mean, so you could compare it to you meet somebody at a bar, at a party, whatever. Yeah, but you got to look at them directly. You got to talk to them. You have to woo the person, coerce them into believing, that you might be a decent person and wanting to see them again or what have you. The apps just remove all of that, and you're just looking at a catalog of photos in a high school bio, like your senior year bio with your favorite quotes and activities, and then just going based on that, showing up, doing whatever, or one or two of them are only women can initiate it, right? They have to respond to you, or else you get, yeah. So it's just, we made it so much easier, but you really made it a lot more difficult and took any of the humanity out of it.
Bumble changed a little bit. Men could send something now. I feel like the origin of dating sites started with places like Match.com, where basically
eHarmony
as well,
JDate,
and
or
Fish in the Sea, or whatever that Christian one is.
Exactly, and it
Farmers Only is my favorite.
Farmers
Farmers Only.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
and you literally go on, and it's literally only divorced people, and what they consider undesired. Well, no, nothing wrong with divorced people. It's actually my men with kids are actually like the best guys to date out there. But the thing is that they don't put pressure on me, and that's what I like. So the thing is that it used to be for people really looking for love, but because the people that were looking for love were considered undesirable, it became uncool to look for love. So when the hot boys,
it comes off desperate.
It comes off as desperate.
Or remember when people used to use that term, try hard? Like, you're trying.
Yeah,
why would you even try?
You're a try hard. Exactly. And now that like hot girls and hot boys are on it, it's supposedly uncool to act like you want something. So like everyone's act like they want sex, but they're really blowing it left and right if they ever meet
fucking junior high level stuff. It's like, don't acknowledge the guy that you like, or don't acknowledge the girl you like. Everybody just ignore everybody, and then nobody's out there getting later.
Grow up.
Over here pulling hair left and right.
You're all standing in the same gym with your douchebag friends, just like you are in class, and nothing is happening.
Thank you. Exactly.
Okay. Now, with your previous book, Swipe, and now this one, what did you approach it differently? Is this like a companion piece? Is this more clinical? Like, did you write the first one to more be like, hey, I want to see what this is like, and then this is more like, I'm going to do science? Like, what is the difference?
It was a little like that, but after the pandemic, so much changed in the world as far as post-pandemic, post-Me Too, post-feminism, post-TikTok. It's like the first book I wrote was before that. Right. So I was so curious as to how I would time capsule what's going on nowadays as opposed to years ago. And of course, just like you said, it was more experimental, the first one. Now I was more targeted on my chapters and what I wanted to focus on, seeing what was out there that was trending, like catfishing, ghosting, breadcrumbing.
Doing any catfishing? Did you try experiment with that?
Have I ever done a catfish
or research for the book?
I've been catfished many a time. And I think, I think the most disturbing thing is the lack of respect from men around how many women get catfished. And so nowadays, if you're on the site and you're like, can I have a picture, holding a thumb up, or could, you request anything, people get offended because men don't have the compassion. A lot of men out there on the swipe sites, they don't have the compassion to see what women are going through. It's not usually women that are the catfish. However, there are some. Sure.
Can I get a nice headshot? But I need the current newspaper. I need you pointing at the date, and I want you doing three fingers.
Yes, I need the verification photo, like when you're signing up for some app or something like that.
Something like maybe not like a license or anything, but maybe write the new person's name in a piece of paper and hold it, like something, anything, whatever.
Yeah, and that's such a scary thing because, you never know who you're really talking to. I mean, you're going to meet these people, and then it's going to be a completely different person. It's, and now it's awkward.
Exactly. And I just felt like someone needed to come out there and start talking about these types of gruesome things. Like I said, on the side of being an actress, I am a mental health counselor. I am a certified peer advocate. I have my own clients in between writing my books. And the mental health decline of society is exponentially grown. And I just wanted to come out there and start talking.
Do you
start a conversation? Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you, and it's been well documented through my shows and stuff. I'm very skeptical when it comes down to the mental health stuff. I know there are situations that warrant it. I know there are things where people legitimately have issues, but it seems also that mental health also became kind of a cosplay feature. It was something like some people would hide behind it as an excuse.
Tell me.
To not do things, to not interact with people, to not take responsibility for things.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. There's always going to be that out there. To your point, there's also going to be men that don't deserve to be brought down in the Me Too movement that are too. There's also going to be those horrible cops that are going to bring down the ones that are actually helping people, and they're going to be counselors.
It's why I never became a cop.
Yeah.
Why I never became a counselor.
There's always going to be people in every field that give a bad name for the rest of us. And to your point, yes, I agree. But that's not everyone. That's some people. I agree with you.
I think where it applies to here is a lot of people online are bullshitting with their mental illness. I call it cosplaying. Because when they're sitting there and they're in their car with videos and all of a sudden they're crying about the whole thing, it's like, if you really had this problem, this is not the way to be handling this. This is not your outlet. That fake dopamine rush, I guess, of people sending you the likes and the clicks and like, you're going to be okay with it. That doesn't do anything. Now, some people are just dumb and desperate enough to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you really have these mental issues and you're aware of it or it's been documented or what have you, that's not the way to do it. I think a lot of people do it for attention. To get either their social media numbers up, to get any kind of attention. It's like, hey, this is the way I'm going to break out. I'm a mental health advocate. And then they have that in their bios on a lot of things. I had, I'll tie this into something else. There was a fan base of a certain property that I like. I have a love-hate with right now. I grew up loving it, but I have a love-hate issue with this property right now. The fan base with it, a lot of the people, if you say anything against the property, right? Legitimately, not just it sucks, this actress is terrible, that actor is horrible, the writing is whatever. If you have legitimate reasons for why certain things, this show is bad, this movie is bad, the script was terrible, the way that actor acts in public is, whatever the legit reasons are, right? There are all these people that are of this kind of hive mindset that they need to feel like they belong to something. Yeah. And they all sit there and they're coming at you with some of the most vicious, like, despicable shit. Then you look at their bios and they all are kind of using the same key terms in their bios all the time. Mental health advocate. Some are even using autism as an excuse to be shitty people. An ally for those things. When those are legitimate things that people are. But a lot of people hide behind that to go and say, like, I'm a mental health advocate. Really? I just looked at most of your replies and all you're doing is shitting on people. You know?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. There are bad people in every field. Yes.
Yeah. Jared's right here. This is exactly what we've been talking. It's engagement bait. They want attention, whether it's good or bad. And it's hard to then take people seriously. It's like, this person seems like they're kind of messed up.
Yeah. It's like they're silencing you for having your own opinion and you're not even saying anything threatening or racist or prejudiced. You're just saying this show is not
I haven't even gotten to that yet. Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's not what I'm trying to say.
I have a sense of humor. I got it.
Good. But there's a lot of people who cosplay as that kind of thing. So it's hard.
I agree.
I imagine it's hard for you that you went through to get certified or whatever the process was for you to do mental health counseling and advocation and all that stuff. To know that's just like in any walk of life, there's going to be people who abuse the system, and there are going to be people who people talk about imposter syndrome, but in that case, people's like feel like they're qualified, but they feel like they're a phony. Whatever the reverse of that is that they're not qualified and they're acting like they're, that they deserve to have a seat at the table, be in the room with all these other people.
Well said. There's a lot of actors and models like that too.
Yes, they're all crazy.
Oh yeah. Tons of fakes out there. And you know what? I don't mind having to prove myself and my authenticity to people. And I don't mind being asked questions and being tested either because I have something to prove.
You
That's
walk
what I was
a
going to
line.
ask.
I do.
Being in the world of entertainment and then trying to be the advocate on that. It's like you're protesting your own property, for everything they're doing wrong. You're on one side of the line, you're over there making the stuff, and the other side, you're picketing why these people are terrible. So, I mean, how you figure that out, good for you. But yeah, you definitely put yourself in a spot where it's like you really have to figure out a balancing act on both of those fronts.
I see that they're equal and opposite, but I also see that they're the same because in my character studies as an actress, it's almost the same thing to analyze people all day in a mental health context. The only difference is as an actress, after my notes, I go and play that person. So I see it as very similar. Plus, I believe that every actress needs to have a good cause because when they're not on set, I believe you need to be giving back. And I want to be giving back to people in the world that need mental health support.
I'm more of this, and Jordan, I know you wanted to ask something. I'm sorry for stepping on it, but I'm more of the school of let me make it first and then I'll help everybody else because no one's helping me. I have to help myself to get to the point I want to be where I'm content or secure enough in my livelihood and in my confidence, whatever I need to do. Then I can go help somebody else. If I'm trying to do all of that,
though, like what is making it though? It's like if you're if you're working, you know what you want in life, and you're on and off set, and then on your downtime, you're like helping lift other people. It's like, listen, it might be, not the top rung of the ladder, but it's like, it's something and it's somewhere. It's like you don't have to necessarily be A-list to say you've made it.
No, that's
what I'm saying.
That's been an incredible success. I'm talking about where you're stable, where, all right, my rent's taken care of. I have enough money, for groceries and to pay my bills and have a car.
That's what you mean, then
just to have some footing so that I could go other places. I can't help other people if I'm not taking care of my own shit.
Put the mask on yourself on a plane that's going down. I know you guys might be talking about a plane going down soon, so
every week. It's every week, really.
Right. Jordan, what did you want to say?
What I was going to ask was, okay, so you've got the mental health background and stuff like that. So when you're doing this book and you're doing your research and you're coming out here and saying, 9 out of 10 people are just scum. Does it feel like it disillusions you from having to go out there and get into the dating scene, meet new people? Are you going to shy away from the technology side of things and try to make more personal connections? Like, where do you go?
After these books that I wrote, I'm not someone that anyone would really find on a swipe site unless it was like Rhea, because there are like amazing creative connections on that site. But like to swipe on sites to meet guys and people, no, I don't see myself as doing that. But I'm more of like an in-person, wanting an actual real connection with someone, not necessarily to date or marry, but like, who are you? How do we fit into each other's lives? Do we want to be friends? Do we want to date? Do we want to be serious? Let's hang out a couple of times and like feel it out. And then we'll decide if we want to date or introduce each other to somebody. Like, you don't have to decide up front.
Yeah, Jordan, why don't you two hang out for a little bit, see if this is something that could work for you. And then if it works out, great. If not, you can introduce each other to other people.
Or something.
I will never date anybody who's 51. I'm sorry.
Oh, fair enough. Fair point.
You talking about my?
I'm not that shallow. No way. No.
Well, when he's in between tour dates, because he's also the front man for this band called Bowling for Soup. So when he's not playing during the summer, during the rest of the year, he's at home with taking care of his kids and making ridiculous Lego sets.
I do. Yeah, no, the kids take up too much time. I can't swipe left, right, or otherwise. It's just too busy. But yeah, I mean, even now, knowing that all this is out there, there's no chance I want to do any of that stuff.
Oh, after talking to me?
I mean, it's not you personally. It's just
content
makes me realize there's no chance I would want to do that, even if that was a thing. Like, no, there's too many weirdos out there.
Jordan's having a tough time with the single life.
There's nothing tough about my life.
What's going on?
Not a thing. He's just a
he avoids those apps and stuff at all costs, which I don't blame him at this stage of the game. Yeah. It's just like, there's no need to sign up for those apps anymore. Like, if you can't go give it the old the old college try, do it the old fashioned way of picking up somebody at the supermarket or the laundromat or any of those kind of things, those apps aren't going to do much for you. You have to go back to old school methods.
They may have been like super popular during the pandemic because no one had like any other choice. But like these days, they're going to have to like heighten their restrictions or change their marketing or something, because it's just not cool what me and like hundreds of ladies have seen out there. It's really disgusting. And for men too. I'm not saying it's not hard out there for men too.
That's the other thing I was going to ask. I mean, you're coming at it, especially personally from the female side of things and seeing, all the scumbag guys. And trust me, I'm never going to dispute how scummy guys are. When you were getting other people's stories, were you getting the men's side of things, just kind of get that even ground, or was this very female centric? Okay.
Oh, I was 100% giving like an equal rights perspective when I was looking at it, and like the men are suffering equally as hard, by the way.
Well, yeah, people are just crazy. Like the internet
and everyone's
has gotten rid of everyone's moral compass has gone online. That's why people can sit there and yell at everybody and be these, keyboard warriors. And then when it comes down to being a real person, they don't have those skills anymore. It's like everyone's just yelling online.
They're like left back kids. And there's nothing cool and laid back about not knowing how to deal with confrontation or have proper communication skills as an adult. It actually makes the person look like they were left back in school. That's all it makes them look like.
Yeah, that seems pretty accurate.
Right.
It's weird that we are in a time where autism has never been more present and tested for and recognized in kids and in people, and yet there's people who have the symptoms of autism, but they're not autistic. Like that just has changed the mindset and the way of thinking.
It's a mentality
for dealing with people in public. Like it's almost agoraphobic. It's almost claustrophobic in certain spaces where wherever you are, there's a problem. It's like you can't have a problem in every situation of your life. And yet that's how a lot of people are nowadays.
Very touchy, very PC.
Now, did you ever feel, and in some of these interactions that you had, did you, like when you met anyone personally, did you ever feel like you were unsafe? Did you find really good safe spots to meet? Like, how did that work out? Did you have a go-to place? Like, let's go meet at Katz. Just go grab a sandwich.
I did, and I think the waiters were were the bartenders.
She's here a lot.
Like, she's here a lot, and that's not the same person once again that she was here with last time. I always made sure I was like in a public place. I found out today why in the Middle Ages they used to clink glasses of wine. Do you guys know why? I don't want to be presumptuous, but I didn't know this until today. Because people would poison each other so often that when you clink glasses, you let each other's like wine pour over into one another's glasses. So obviously,
if I have to die, you're going down with me, Jordan.
Thank you.
Cheers. No, Eric, see, what happens is I have an intolerance to iocane powder, so there's no chance that it would matter.
Well, I can afford a royal tester, so they go and they test all my food before I sit down for fine dining.
That's a good point.
Everybody has different walks of life.
Wait, can you repeat that?
No.
Are you serious though? You're kidding though. You're kidding.
He's definitely kidding.
Am I? I don't know. My vast wealth has no bounds.
He doesn't know it anymore.
Buggy's in the chat. He's saying, yeah, online dating is terrible. I think I only have one friend who ever got a real, actual, long-lasting relationship out of one.
And Fuggy's only like 19, so that works out.
I know, but he looks like he's 35. I don't know what's going on, what's in the water with the youth of today.
Oh, the youth.
They're being exposed to a lot more than they used to be.
Oh.
Right. Yeah.
Trashitarian saying, I've always had a friend or my sister call me 10 minutes into the date. I could either tell them it was okay or I could tell them I had an emergency and had to go. That is something that goes back. I mean,
yeah, the old emergency call.
Even before cell phones, people would set that up where they would call the restaurant looking for your friend or your sister or whatever.
Yeah,
and do the
same
thing. Yeah.
Right.
Well, they at this point, they've even got like bars have like a language that you can speak to the bartender to say, hey, look, I'm not feeling safe or something's wrong or I need something. And they have signs like posted in places where like if you're having issues with your date or, you're not feeling safe, that you can, speak these code words and get the free out. They'll call a cab and get you out of there. It's dating is scary. It's just scary. The idea of it is just scary.
Where do we get a hold of these code words?
I don't know. I've seen them. Some bars have these.
Look them up online. There's tons of cheat codes. Get you 30 lives, infinite weapons, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to backtrack real quick. Trashitarian, I'm not that old. I was not saying you were that old. I'm saying that technique predates cell phones where people would call restaurants just to do that same exact technique. But if you felt that way, then that's on you, my friend. Sorry, continue. Are you vaping?
It's not a vape. It's actually Nicotrol. It's a stick that has a little cotton ball dipped in nicotine, and it's for the oral fixation because I'm really trying not to smoke. I started because of Audrey Hepburn, and I don't know. It's so ingrained in me. I'm really trying
Eric
not.
Started too.
All right, now I want to know, how did Audrey Hepburn get you into smoking? Watching old movies?
So chic and so French, and she got me into Louis Vuitton too.
Well, you got to have it on the little, the extended...
the stick.
Yeah, the stick on there. Put that little vape thing at the end because no one's doing that. You could now bring that into your whole imagery online where you have the stick, but then you've got the vape thing at the end.
Isn't this weird enough?
Yeah.
I mean, it did look like one of those Vicks things that you stick up your nose to kind of... Yeah, there you go.
It does look,
From a distance.
Yeah, it's like you took it out of the applicator.
Exactly.
I just needed something. It's an oral fix. What happened to the good old days of just chewing on a Bic pen and hoping that it didn't explode in your mouth?
Explode in your mouth, or a toothpick like a cowboy.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, to wrap up what I was saying about STDs before, all I'm trying to say to people is if they have a safety plan in place and say, listen, don't emotionally cheat, don't physically cheat. However, if you do, come to me and let me know. And then you could either go that way, this way, get STD tested, but at least I'm not being violated, betrayed, lied to. Yeah, you're straying. Got it. But it's the other components around the straying that are usually what causes violence and mental health decline. And I just want to put the word out there to start having safety plans between people so it's not such a shock if someone slips up.
So should your app profile have an emergency contact for this stuff? So that if you feel like you're sliding and it's like, I'm going into a mental health spiral because this person is obviously cheating on me. Here's my sponsor. Here's my backup support. Hit the button on the app and then they come and get me.
Listen, everyone gossips to their friends. If you can't talk to the person you're with, you're going to be calling your best friends anyway. They're going to find out within 30 seconds either way.
Right. Okay.
But I get your joke.
Oh, serious.
To be fair, he's not that funny.
You guys are really funny together. Each other like that.
Real quick. So I found a list of those bar safe words I was talking about. So if you're at a bar, you order an Angel shot straight up or neat. It's code for I need an escort to my car. An Angel shot on ice or on the rocks is please call a taxi, Uber, or Lyft. And an Angel shot with a twist of lemon is code for I'm in immediate danger. Please call the police.
Don't you think changing the Angel shot to a different drink would less confuse the bartender?
I mean,
right?
It's probably loud in there. They probably don't hear half of the things. They're just calling somebody. But yeah, I mean, that's the idea behind these bar phrases. I don't know if it's different everywhere else, but that seems to be the standard.
Well, that's just telling with how things are in such a decline these days.
Scary,
I really hope they get better, and I hope I'm a part of that movement.
I had no idea about the Angel shots. I mean, it's good to know that's a thing. I had no idea about that.
I didn't know about it either.
What if the guy is he's new, he's training, he makes an actual Angel shot, lights it like a flaming Moe, and then the girl's just sitting there that's not what I'm doing here. My livelihood is depending on this.
Yeah.
He's throwing cinnamon powder at it to make it flame like it's a Harry Potter drink, and you're like, come on, I need to get out of this date.
Just call a fucking cab.
Right. I really need to get away from this asshole. And he's like, I'm right here.
Or go back to the old days of pirate bars where you would sit at the end of the bar and the bartender could hit a switch and you fall through a trap door and you're now whisked off to a new life that whether you wanted to or not. There's a lot of things that could be in play to help you.
That's called reincarnation.
Well, I didn't say you were going to die. I'm just saying they were physically moving them somewhere else. Jeez, what bars are you going to? Let's promote the book again here. It's called Swipe Again. It's available anywhere you get your finer books, but also it's more important that you get it at Barnes & Noble. You can see her Instagram information right there. Aesha. I can't get it right. I'm just not going to.
Aesha
Waks.
And if you guys follow me and tell me it's from this show, I'll give you a follow back.
Oh, there you go. And free mental health advice with purchase of the book. You get one question and then you're on your own.
I don't mind that. I like that deal. I would do that.
Fair enough.
I would do that.
What's the meaning of life? Sign my book.
I wanted to wrap this up with, you do a lot of acting work. You've worked with some big names. Would you care to name any of them?
Well, I starred in many movies with the likes of Sam Rockwell, Paul Giamatti, Stephen Lang, Burt Young, John Cryer. I mean, Summer Phoenix, who honestly, she was super talented, just like River and Joaquin. Super talented girl. I started a movie with her. I won 2 acting awards. I'm a SAG actress, and I was on the TV show Gotham. And no, this Batman tattoo was not because I was
Get up
on
close.
Gotham.
Show everybody that tattoo there. Get up close to the camera.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I shaved my armpits or not.
Who cares?
Let's see. Okay.
Who cares?
No, Eric hasn't.
Look at that.
So it's a Batman, but guys, do you think it's a good idea on the other arm to get something for Joker so I could like pose like Jesus and I have like a dichotomy of like character across?
Yeah, as long as it's not Superman or Harley Quinn. Yeah, get something Joker related.
I was gonna say, as long as it's not the Suicide Squad Joker, I'm okay with it.
Get his face with the gun from Killing Joke.
Oh yeah,
that would be good.
Yeah. I was
so did you? So are you a fan of Batman, or is that just
I've always loved Batman. I was honored to be indoctrinated into the Gothamite universe and be a part of that family.
You were on that show with a friend of ours.
Right. Oh, right. We were talking about that on the phone. We were talking about Donalog, shout out, and your friend
Robin Lord Taylor. We were talking
about Robin Lord Taylor. He's your boy,
him.
Right? That's your boy.
I love him.
Yeah, he used to come. He lived. I don't know where he's living now, but he lived not far from our studios at Sirius XM, and he'd just be in town. He's like, "What are you doing? Nothing. You want to come up on the show Friday night?" He just would pop up all the time. Him and then his dad was Doctor Who. Sean, he played Alfred.
Oh man!
Why am I? Pertwee. Sean Pertwee.
Yeah, Pertwee.
Yeah. He's a gentleman and a scholar. That's Sean.
I definitely heard of him, and I also wanted to thank Matt Compitello for recommending you to me because he's like an avid watcher of your show, and he thought this would be like a great topic for your show. So thanks, man. And he also helped me go pros around Card Girl, along with a couple of other.
Yeah, you're doing boxing gigs at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
the Mecca of boxing. That's fantastic.
I'm doing that too. Well, just to be quick, I was supposed to be a cheerleader for the Nets, but I was an acrobat growing up, but I had a sports injury, so I had to drop out of cheerleading, dropped out of the first cut for that, and it kind of killed that part of my dream. But when I started doing it for boxers, I got to now support athletes again in a way that I could, and it kind of fulfills that for me. So it is a very fulfilling thing I do on the side of acting, as well as mental health counseling and being an author and being a hip hop artist. And I'm not even going to go down the list of things that I am.
No, go down the list. We have plenty of time.
You're wearing many hats, milady.
That's a lot of hats. Yeah.
I'm a poet, and
you don't know it.
No, that's the problem is I do. And like, I did it like since I was a kid, and like, I'll turn some of them into like songs or hip hop lyrics and stuff like that. I was also a professional dancer.
I was gonna say I was gonna bring some of that up because honestly, like you did stuff with Wu-Tang, which I love.
How did you know? I did.
They're nothing to fuck with, from what I understand.
That's what I hear. But here's
so
one that
I found this out about me.
I want to ask because this last year, I mean, I go to concerts constantly. Eric hates it. I go to everything. I went to the Loserville tour with Limp Bizkit this past year, and you have some history with the MC of that particular concert, Riff Raff. How was it working with him?
Oh my god! You figured that out about me? I actually produced one of his music videos.
Yeah,
White Sprite, and he asked me to be in one of the scenes. He wanted to hose me down with a garden hose and send this blonde model to like make out with me, and I just kind of like took one for the team and did it, and then it like got millions of views. It's all over the internet now, and like I had no idea I'd even be in that video because I was producing it for him. Good for you for knowing this stuff.
Is he as crazy in person, like behind the scenes, as he is when he's out there, kind of being in the public eye? Because when I was at the concert, I'm too old to be in the mosh pit, but I was out there anyway, so I was nice and close. And between sets, he's just backstage dancing. They're filming him, and I'm just like. It's so crazy to watch him, and I know, with Spring Breakers, it was like loosely based off him.
Break.
I always find him fascinating as a person.
Yeah, he's always like that. I know the whole group. Tres Locos. I think I'm saying it wrong. Andy Milanakis. I know Dirk Diggler. Dirt Nasty. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Yeah, look at that.
I'm literally shocked right now.
Oh, Riff Raff. Oh, he's so funny.
Yeah. You only saw him on Fridays because Monday through Thursday was Heathcliff. But when he did show up, it was a party.
Right. He's like, hey, I'm just going to wet you down. Thanks for producing.
I'm like
You really took it for the
mind
team.
blown right now. Like seriously.
And there's you in a blue top, not wet.
Yeah, a Star Wars shirt, baby.
There's just a whole range
Nice.
of your acting ability in there.
I was definitely acting because I'm not gay. I could
like, here's my
appreciate
book.
women and
But yeah,
Did he
that's,
smell?
oh, Lord,
He looks like he smells.
Lord.
Well, this is a great way to end the interview here. We could just go out on this.
Yo, I'm gonna call one of my boys after this. Like, you won't believe it just happened.
Yes, we'd love to talk to him. If you want to come back on with him, we'd love to say hello, see how he's doing.
Crazy.
Oh, let's see. God, it's been a while since I spoke to him, but yeah, let's see.
What I could really do is bring up the fact that you were on another very, very popular MTV show that it was, to me, as someone with no rhythm or anything, was so cringy. What was it like being on the grind?
Oh my God.
With Eric Nyes?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was underage minor. My mom was chaperoning me there, and I was like living my best life as like a 13-year-old wearing like go-go boots and hot pants.
That's, yeah.
Acting like I was on Saturday Night Fever. Like I never had so much fun in my life. Like
that's cool.
Yes. No, because I went on world tour with the Mad Stuntman. I like to move it when I was like a kid, like 13 too. And my mom had to sign waivers all the time. I wasn't allowed to drink on tour, no weed, nothing.
Right. What a buzzkill, Mom.
Yeah, you and I had totally different childhoods growing up.
Right?
You're sneaking in to dance on MTV with Eric Nyes for the grind, and I'm trying to convince them I'm 16 to go see Late Night with David Letterman.
I'm eating cereal after high school watching DuckTales. Like that's just the difference in my life.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't say I had Michael Jackson childhood, but I would also say it was not normal.
Well, I mean, you did start young.
You would have been rich if you did.
Yeah, I was in Romper Room. I was also a cage dancer at the Limelight and the Palladium underage too.
That's crazy.
I was a child in the cage.
Now, did they know you were underage? Was this one of those?
Yeah.
You know, okay.
Yeah, they do.
I've heard of stories of like actors and actresses getting into the business. They lie about their age. They get in, and the next thing you know, they're famous and like, haha, this is what I did.
Yeah, New York kids sneak into the Limelight, you know, and other clubs they're not supposed to be at, and she's sneaking into network television shows.
I literally had my mother with me signing waivers for me left and right as a child, and my mother was so down. God bless her. Before she died, she was my manager, and she totally supported my love for the arts. God bless her.
I mean, I mean, you've touched pretty much like every facet of things. I mean, you're writing books, you're acting, you're dancing in cages. I mean,
designing clothes. I had an art line, a collage line that was the highest bidder of my piece for a charity event was Donald Batchelor, and who's a part of the Shafrazi Gallery.
Yeah,
I got to go hang out at a studio. I've had some really amazing experiences so far, just kind of crossing over into different artistic worlds. They've been so accepting of that for me, and I feel blessed that I was allowed to try so many things in different worlds growing up.
Yeah, nope, not me. I'm watching DuckTales.
Well,
I watched that too.
Not ponytails or cottontails, but DuckTales.
Oh, DuckTales. Woo.
We do have to get going, but thank you for coming on, and let's promote the book again. Well, that is not the book, but that's also check out that music video if you want to look at that. That is the book right there.
There it is.
Swipe again, available at Barnes and Noble. Where's the other thing? There's her social media. You can follow her to your heart's content and reach out. She's not afraid to talk to you. So thank you very much for coming on. We do appreciate it. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you. And it was my pleasure. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Take
Bye
care.
for now.
Bye.
Take care.
She's lovely.
That was fun.
I had no idea about the spring break guy. That's awesome that you found that out. Little treat for me. It's usually I don't on this show. There's not much I'm not aware of.
Yeah, especially since you knew about it like a lot longer than I did.
Right.
You're like, hey, last night here's info. I'm like, oh, all right, thanks. I'm on
it. I've never heard the song though. Have you?
I may have if you were to play it. I mean, obviously, we don't want to probably play it on the show, but yeah, I'll check it out.
Hold on, let's see. We'll try a little bit. It's playing.
Yeah, it's playing.
Clean at the gym like Marcus Camby. 8 dice shaking my stacks come in handy. Stepping on my wrist.
Yeah, the video's great. Not the music, really not that much for me. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not going out and searching for his stuff. But yeah, he was hosting the Loserville tour it was like emceeing the Loserville tour for Limp Bizkit and all the acts on the thing. So like, he'd come in, he'd do his thing, and then whatever band is opening comes on, Corey Feldman do his bit, and then he would come in between, and sometimes even like during Limp Bizkit, he came out and was like dancing on stage, just doing his thing, holding his big goblet or whatever. So it was very interesting to see him live and kind of just doing his stuff. So when I found out that she had produced that, I was like, oh, that is hilarious. So
right,
yeah. So
it's great to have her on.
Yeah, it was fun.
Big Red Tower, DuckTales ruled.
It
Certainly did.
I like the reboot. I like the original. There's just so much for me.
DuckTales, woo. Every day they're out there making DuckTales.
Woo!
They haven't made it in a long time. We need more DuckTales.
We really do.